Namaste, Jai Bharat. In the former Soviet days, when the Soviets were communists, they were acting like Americans, and Americans were acting like Soviets in most aspects of their geopolitical international relations. America wanted to dominate everywhere. They were sending their troops, etc. So Soviets, they still former Soviets, not the Russia, where they just repeating the same thing, maybe normally, and so they have they tried to occupy Afghanistan. And that time, if I'm right, they built this Bagram airport, and then they left. It's very difficult to continue fighting with the Pathans because these Pathans never get tired. They are something like our Sikhs, especially the Nihangs. You know the story of Barabaji. The Sikhs were, people used to, in childhood, in the classes, we talk to the Sikhs and sometimes tease with them as Barabaji. And some people even get angry, but normally friends, they take it light. Why is it called like that? Because the Mughals, the Muslims, they used to invade and go back in the early days. Then only they became settlers in Bharat. When they go back, en route, these Nihangs, the Sikh soldiers, just used to attack them at after midnight 12 or at midnight 12. That's their attacking time. When these people, basically indisciplined, or generally Muslims are not very disciplined, as I see, attack. And attacking is such that they will not go back. They may be few in number, but they will keep fighting. Even if somebody cuts his left hand, he will continue fighting with the right hand. And until that man is completely collapsed by several strikes of sword, this Sikh would just keep attacking. He has only one objective, just destroy the enemy. So the Sikh Dharma has been created for the protection of this nation, Bharat. That's how we call them as Sardars, leaders. So they had been performing their Dharma of protecting the land, the nation. The such nationalists whom Pakistan tried to create as depicted as Khalistan is making difference between the dharmas in Bharat. Actually, there is no difference between any dharma in Bharat. They are essentially in the core one and the same. The variations are at the manifested periphery. That is simple as that. So these Mughals could not understand how these people are fighting because they don't stop fighting. So they made the story, 12 बजे एक कौम पागल हो जाता है. Which 12 बजे? Not during day, at night. They attack like madmen. So it's the Mughals who coined the expression, 12 बजे एक कौम पागल हो जाता है. These people go mad at 12 o'clock because no stopping them. Their military number, might, whatever, makes no difference. He just continues attacking so long as his hands he can raise. That's a history of the Sikhs. We know it. In Punjabi University we study the histories. No, that's the part of our history. I was a student of Punjabi University. So this nation, this story comes. It's such a powerful story, though people tease in a funny manner today. But then such a powerful story that they were frightened. They used to be frightened of the Sikh soldiers. They were such great warriors. Pathans are something like them. If they fight, they don't bother. They don't experience fear. Of course, Sikh doesn't know what fear is. Some time back, my son's friend met with an accident. He's a Sikh, he's a Sardarji. And he met with an accident and all cut here and there and bleeding. He was in the hospital. I was outside. I told my son, Malik, I'll come with you. I would like to meet him. Then I went to the hospital. He's just lying down, and the nurse sister was cleaning his wound with alcohol, spirit, and he's holding like this. Then I asked him, I won't take his name. Hey, dard to hota hoga. Then through the pain, his teeth is bitter. He says, sir, sick means discipline. That is the spirit of sex. In the word he said, we enduring pain. All the skin is gone here and there. We fell off a two-wheeler. And somehow something happened. He skidded or something. And there are cuts. They are putting switches and they're cleaning his wound. I just reached at that time. Somehow stood because people are not. And watching. Then I asked him, must be paining. He says, sick means discipline through the pain. That is a sick. And you cannot imagine the kind of spirit. Patterns are akin to that. You just can't fight them. Just that's a Soviet Union. They, as far as I understand, the Bagram airport was built by them. Then they got fed up fighting with the Pathans and went. Then it was US turn, America. America wanted to rule the whole world, and still they want to rule the whole world. In spite of the fact they receive setbacks, they dream that they can rule the whole world. So they have invaded Afghanistan. Remained there for quite some time. Spent a lot of money. Got many of the soldiers killed for this American fancy. That's what Pablo Neruda says. United Fruit Company. His beautiful poetry is there. He says, moves and tucks. Let me recall the poetry which I read several years before. Moves and tucks, benigned by bishops and duchesses, came in the airplane. There were only gunpowder and fire. Then he says, children's blood going in children's way. That poetry I read when I was studying as a student. So this is what America does. Like Pablo Neruda very rightly put it. The context is obvious to you. So they wanted to go dominate and go around everywhere. So they went to Afghanistan. They also remained there for some time and became ultimately fed up. Could not spend money. Their soldiers die. The families suffer loss of husbands, sons, children. They suffered a lot. The army, their forces were very seriously demoralized after Vietnam. They came and endured sufferings, yet claimed to be very victorious. And the same thing they repeated in Afghanistan. They spend money. They spend money and lives because of the fancy of somebody who sits in a White House and White Houses. A soldier is penalized. If he defends his nation, that's one kind of moral. If he goes to attack somebody to continue domination for name and so-called image, then that's a different thing. You can evaluate the difference between both. And then they have created this Bagram airport. They claim they have created. Actually, as I understand, it is Soviets. But they were occupying Bagram airport in Afghanistan as one of their important air bases. And they used it. Everybody had been using Afghanistan. America was trying to use. Pakistan continuously uses them indirectly because they'll say one thing to the Pathans and say another thing to their enemies and let the enemies attack them, and Pakistan gives them all supports, supplies, everything for them to attack and take money from this. Pakistan's income is this. To lies and deceits they earn, and with that they leave. They leave means it doesn't go to the people of Pakistan. We have nothing against the people of Pakistan, but it goes to the pockets of the leaders of Pakistan. This domination went on. That time Bagram airport was used by American forces. Look at the compulsion of the American soldier who just fights for spurious things. Robert Sadeh was talking about this. He made this expression, if I remember, fighting one's own shadow. That's what this Pakistan army was doing, or rather what it was made to do. Unfortunate. And retired soldiers, so many stories of starvation also came into the picture. I do not know. But in my nation, none of the retired soldiers starves. Many other avenues we have. Now, America left Afghanistan went back. I thought they understood enough is enough, but then they are not going to understand. They went back, and when they went back, they have done one very beautiful thing. They destroyed their base. That's a Bagram airport. In whichever ways they can do it, they have done it, complete destruction, so that another person cannot use it. That story is gone. They have gone back, and then comes the second kind of Taliban, which is altogether different. The first Taliban was utterly Sharia-based, a kind of fundamentalistic organization, which had gone to the extent of the destruction of Bami and Buthas. This time, this new Taliban comes. They're very open kind of thing, much different from the previous Taliban. Nonetheless, a fundamentalistic fanatic rule remains fanatic rule. Taliban still remains there, but then they are much different from the first 90s Taliban. These people have more relations with others, they have more understandings, they are trying to open more, which gives us promise that they would change, they will become different. In the meantime, Afghanistan, during the democratic regime, after the first Taliban, Bharat had been involved in rebuilding Afghanistan, which the America had destroyed to a great extent. And we had a lot of projects. And Bharat was involved just out of friendship. We need friends. That's one thing. Everyone needs friends. Bharat makes friends with people, many nations. That's our philosophy also, and our Hindu dharma also. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam means you treat everyone as one family. That's a very principle upon which Bharat is existing. So it's natural that we make friends who can reciprocate friendship, not liars and cheaters. So that's how we try always to make friends, especially with this new government, who are a nationalist government which is based on Bharati culture, Sanskriti. This government is based on civilizational and cultural aspects of this nation. So they will follow the culture of our ancestors, and they make friends. Even the previous government who were trying to help Afghanistan in rebuilding, that really had a good relation. Then suddenly comes this Taliban, which Pakistan is very hopeful that they will be instrumental in destroying Bharat's interest, which shall go into the interest of Pakistan. They calculated so. So instead of really helping the Taliban, they pretended to help Taliban, but at the same time facilitating interests of America, and at the same time showing them they are helping, but then they were showing their original character of trying to dictate things and dominate them and making them do things in their favor, in the interest of Pakistan. They treated the Pathans, the Afghanis, as number 2 great citizens of their nation, second grade citizens, or in more technical language, the subaltern of Pakistan, who will be at the wish or will of Pakistan to act. This goes on. But Bharat's involvement with the people of Pakistan continued. Taliban initially must have resisted a little, but then later they understood that we have transparency in relations. We don't want to dominate. We just want friends. Friends, of course, we need. So we do everything for friendship because we need friends. Everyone needs friends. No one needs enemies. Our philosophy is that, our nature is that. So we started helping the people of Pakistan in spite of who rules them. Construction going on, electrical projects, electricity projects and dams and rivers and roads, apart from hospitals and schools and other things. Then comes a stage that Pakistan is attacking Afghanistan, and Pakistan finds a goalkeeperless goal in Afghanistan because they don't have air defense, and did airstrike on the people of Afghanistan, which is absolutely brutal and inhuman. Then subsequently this idea must have come to Pakistan: you come and help us in Bagram airport, and or at their interest. They must have immediately thought of Bagram airport because suddenly America wanted that place back. They made a claim that we constructed it. You constructed it, but you also destroyed it to total. Then Bharat started reconstructing, and America wanted it back. And Pakistan wanted to facilitate America and also get money. There always money is involved whenever Pakistan is extending their hand for help. First they'll extend it openly to take money, and then also it doesn't really come this way for helping. So Bagram Airport, America wanted. By the time of the Taliban, President of Afghanistan, requested Bharat to make air defense possible for them. Air defense means our air defense personnel should also go. Our aircraft should go. So things slowly moved to Bagram. It is not an occupation. It's just out of friendship they requested we are there. And we shall be there so long as Afghanistan wants. And the day or the time when Afghanistan do not want us, we will just leave. We are not going to occupy any land. But we are not going to dominate at all. Our interest is only friendship, and that's our interest with everybody, not just with Taliban. And with Taliban we have historical relations. We would like to be friendly, as they used to be in ancient times, in very ancient times. That we have enjoyed the fruits of friendship mutually. So that's interesting. The America wants it, and suddenly when Bharat Air Force is there, we are not using it as a base. We are there for Afghanistan. We are there for Afghanistan's defense, which they wanted us to do. And America, especially Trump, gets bugged and he's trying to send his armed forces. And then, of course, our air defense system they try to test again after several defeats. And then with some kind of understanding one another, without discussions, without talks, without firing bullets, without engaging in battle, they found that their electronic equipments and their weapons of destruction could not really be effective against the Bharatiya defense system. So instead of going for a conflict, they went back. And we are not there for my nation. We are there for their help. And so long as they want, we will be there as friends in capital letters. But this is one thing which America cannot digest. That's the situation in Bagram. And Pakistan is so unhappy because they wanted to get some money out of this deal, and that they could not do it. And the Pathans will have old revenge against Pakistan. They will take it, for which we are not responsible. It's that Pakistan had asked Afghanistan to hit them, because their action was that Afghanis will not spare them. That is their problem. We are not involved in the battle. We are involved with the people of Afghanistan in reconstructing the nation, in making the nation, and also in developing the nation. That's friendship. That's friendship. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.